So here I am, once again, alone in one of my favorite cities. It's probably my absolute favorite city in France, Aix-en-Provence. I'm happy to be here, yet I also feel a certain loneliness, a vulnerability. This city, whose history dates back to Roman times, is built on a huge water table. That probably explains why there are so many fountains in Aix, with drinkable water flowing continuously. Isn't it a luxury? A bit like in Rome. Such abundance. Aix is also one of the sunniest cities in France, right after Marseille. The weather is almost always nice here. It's precisely for this unique light that Cézanne and Van Gogh chose to live here. A rich, warm, generous light. But alone in this city, on a personal one-month mission, I sometimes have moments of weakness, Feeling lonely isn't a sin, of course, but some temptations are, like indulging in solitary pleasures or engaging in sex outside of marriage, which in my tradition we call illicit sex. In Krishna consciousness, there are 4 basic principles that uphold what are called the pillars of Dharma, or the law with a capital L. The easiest for many to follow is avoiding gambling. Then comes vegetarianism, which is harder for some. Intoxication, on the other hand, is a struggle for many. But the hardest one is maintaining chastity, as it refers to this definition of sex outside of marriage. I spend 2 or 3 hours a day handing out free copies of the Bhagavad Gita with QR codes that link to my YouTube channel and my collection of Christian gospel music. It's nice meeting people, and most of them are really kind. It helps me step out of my bubble.
Il faut que j'aille lui parler, il faut que je sache qu'est-ce que c'est.
But it's not enough. It's not enough. That's why I also go to the Catholic Church every day. Yes, I wish the priests and the congregation were vegetarian because, I believe that animals have a soul, not just some sort of breath of life. And yes, I believe in reincarnation, of course, unless one returns to heaven after death. So, I have some differences with the Catholic creed. But, I believe in one God. I believe all monotheistic religions are on the same wavelength. And I feel a real mystical dimension, a mystical dimension, during the Mass. When I'm there, I feel surrounded by people who, like me, are trying to live a righteous life, a life dedicated to God, after all. In the morning, I try to wake up early. It's a sacred moment, or at least a quiet one, when I can pray with more sincerity. I've started reciting the Hare Krishna mantra in English after chanting it in Sanskrit for 30 years. Instead of saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, I actually say,
Oh Radha, oh Krishna, s'il vous plaît, engagez-moi dans votre service, oh Radha, oh Krishna, s'il vous plaît, engagez-moi.
These words are from Prabhupada, my spiritual grandfather, who founded the Hare Krishna movement. He once said that this was the deeper meaning of the mantra. I'm going to be here for a few more weeks. After that, I have to go back to the States for some legal matters. But I'll probably tell you about that another time. Hey, you know what? Pray for me.
Never turn away, never. Even when I stray, you still send me love letters. Life just seems a bit better with a G.